Now, back to Ian Furness from the KJR studios. Fueled by Comcast Xfinity TV.
It's 1:20 on 950 KJR. Ian Furness back with you. You've heard of the updates today. Former NFL quarterback, former Washington State quarterback Ryan Leaf today was sentenced to 10 years of probation. He pled guilty to 8 felony drug charges in Texas and has now moved on in so many different ways in his life and is moving ahead and looking ahead as well. And with that said, at 1:20 this afternoon, we welcome to the show former Washington State quarterback Ryan Leaf. Ryan, how are you today?
Ian, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was able to read your statement today that you gave outside the courthouse, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but basically, your time down at West Texas A&M, you came out and said, I want to apologize. Also, you talked about what you've gone through in the last, I guess, 2 years now in terms of recovery from prescription painkillers. Let me just kind of ask you, before we kind of look at some of the other issues here, but let me just ask you, go ahead and tell us kind of what you said today after that hearing.
Well, it was a statement that I had been writing probably in my mind for a long, long time, and it was something that just needed to be said. Legal aspects aside, this was about the growth of me and me being nearer 40 than I am to 20, and perspective of life and where we're going. And for the longest time, I had the wrong perspective about a lot of things, and one being because of football, one, feeling that I had let down my Cougar Nation and all of those great fans that supported me for so long. I was so worried about going around them because I felt like I had let them down so bad. And it was completely farthest thing from the truth. They're the most supportive, unconditionally great fans anywhere, and they support me no matter what. And I couldn't thank them more. And I kind of wanted to explain that as well as everything I went through and how it can help to ask for help and to be in a position where you find the right people that can help you, and you can make a beautiful life for yourself and everybody around.
Ryan Leaf with us. Ryan, let me ask you about the prescription painkillers. It's one of those addictions that we hear about often, but we don't often hear the story. So let me ask you, when did it start, and how much did it contribute to really your life going a little bit sideways? Well,
it's a constant issue in the NFL. I mean, it's what gets you to play week to week. But it was never really an issue for me until later in life. After many surgeries, both shoulders, my right one twice, my knees, and the alien wrist, I became addicted to it, not knowing I was. I just was in pain a lot. And I continued to take them, and then all of a sudden I realized that I was just taking them to take them at night to get to sleep. And I wasn't in pain anymore, or at least I didn't know if I were in pain anymore. It was just a way for me I completely recoiled, became antisocial, isolated, and it takes away all the bad feelings, all the criticisms of why you weren't a great quarterback, or how you let down your university, or how you let down so-and-so, or your family and stuff like that. It was a way to cope. It's a coping mechanism, just like any other addict is. I don't minimize mine at all because it was prescription medication. I don't. It's the same thing as anybody else who's become addicted to something. But prescription medication is an unbelievable problem in this country just because it has a misconception of being a legal drug. And if abused, it can totally take control of somebody's life, as it did mine. And the hardest thing to do is ask for help. And I had, for the longest time, just tried to have this bravado of everything's okay. I'm not upset about the fact that my career didn't pan out the way it was, or how things are going now, or the criticism that I get. Maybe I had a 10-year type of protective shield where I could keep piling all that on, but eventually it's going to take its toll. I never talked to anybody about anything. And finally, this happening, I look at this happening as a total positive now, because if it didn't, I would have never been able to ask for the help and gone to this unbelievable place in Vancouver and came out of it on the other side with a whole new outlook on life. And if you can believe it, it gives you more confidence than you had before in your life, because you don't have this phoniness with you anymore. You are naked. You're vulnerable to the world because you're honest. And when you stand up in meetings and talk to people, addicts and alcoholics, you can't lie to them because they'll see right to you, because that's exactly how they were years and years and years too. So it's an unbelievable, enlightening experience, and that's for sure.
Ryan, when you also apologized to the coach at West Texas A&M, and I'd like to actually get your I mean, the NFL stuff aside, you were coaching in the college ranks, and my understanding was from talking to people, whether it be the Jack Thompsons of the world and others, that was something you really enjoyed, and it was something that you had a passion for. If you can, just touch in on that, because I know it's something that sounds like you really like to do, maybe you want to do in the future, and it apparently kind of went away because of this addiction.
Yeah, I completely enjoyed it, and I was good at it. I coached 2 quarterbacks while I was here for 3 years, and both of them are playing professionally from a Division II school. So I felt like I knew what I was doing. I was giving them some information that can help them, not make the same mistakes I did and excel at the collegiate level and hopefully at the professional level. And they've done that. They've done that, and I'm so proud of them. And I love them to death, and they know how much I care about them, and they care about me the same way. And I do miss that. I do miss coaching the kids. I miss the boys, and I would like to do it again, but I just don't know if I can, because I don't, until I can do it on my own terms, I don't want to open myself up to criticism. It's just, you hear little things, and you don't want to, why would the kid listen to him and stuff like that. But and it's not stuff that I need to listen to or really care about, but maybe when I'm ready to step back in and do it, I will, because I know I'm good at it, and I really truly did enjoy it.
Ryan, when you say you don't want to do it again because of the little things, is it because of what you hear, the whispers, hey, it's Ryan Leaf, or is it because you don't, at this point in your life, despite going through the recovery, is there a concern on your part being around football and around probably prescription drugs and things like that might rear its ugly head again?
I don't think so much that aspect of it, the medication side of it. I think more or less just the opening to having to deal with maybe the media again, because that comes into play when you're coaching, and it just maybe just more of my time. I'm literally looking forward to spending some time in Montana with my family. A great revelation from all this has been the reuniting of my relationship with my mom and dad and my brothers. And I'm going to spend as much time with those guys as I can. And being back around Pullman, I made it to 3 games this year. I made it to a couple of functions and stuff, and the reception from people was amazing. And I'm going to stick around places that make me feel good about being me and what I can give back to Washington State and what they gave to me. Ryan
Leaf joining us. Ryan, when you first, and you kind of talked about the football aspect of the prescription drugs, and I kind of want to jump back to that just for a second, because I think it's like I said, a lot of addictions are out there. We hear about a lot of addictions. Heck, we're hearing about the possible sex addiction of a guy like Tiger Woods right now and what that's done to his life as well. From a prescription drug standpoint, though, and with those addictions, how much responsibility, and I'm sure this is something you talked about in Vancouver at was it the Orchard Recovery Center, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Up there. How much of the responsibility for becoming an addict on something like prescription drugs goes on the individual himself? How much of it goes on the situation, i.e. as a football player, an NFL football player who's just basically trying to stay in the league?
Well, I don't know. I can totally see it being something about staying in the league, definitely, because you're trying to be ready to play each week, and that's kind of how it went for me when I was playing. And